Hello, guys, gals, and non binary pals. Today I'm here to talk about the discontinued music careers of TikTok stars. Um, a- TikTok was supposed to go down in 2020, and so a lot of the TikTokers turned to music because they needed something to do if the platform they got famous on and made money off of was going down. And then about half of them just never continued releasing music. So those are the TikTok stars we're going to talk about today. Let's get into it. First, we have Baby Ariel, who was technically a Musically star before it got turned into TikTok. And so she released music prior to 2020. Her first single was actually in 2017. She had a couple of releases between 2018 and 2019, and then an EP in 2021. And there hasn't been any music since, so she quit right after the TikToker music release epidemic started. And there probably will never be new music. I think she made some songs for the Zombies series, but most of those went under her real name, not under her stage name. So then we have Vinnie Hacker, who just released music under Vinnie. His first release was in 2020 with Cavity, and then he had one release each year in 2020, 2021, 2022, and then 2023. And there's seemingly no plans for the future. I was looking at his Spotify page, and he doesn't have an artist description or any links to any of his socials. So, safe to say, music is over for him. Next, we have Peyton. His first release was in 2020 with Love Letter, and he had 4 releases throughout 2020, and then 6 releases in 2021, and a 6-song EP in 2022. So his music career was going strong. And from what I remember being online at this time, I didn't listen to his music, but there seemed to be a really solid fan base for his music career. Then he only had one release in 2023, and then he released 3 songs in late 2025, 2 years later. So he did release semi-recently, but I also don't know if there's anything coming out in the future. So I guess his music career really isn't discontinued, but it's just kind of more uncertain compared to other artists who are releasing more frequently. Next, we have Kellyanne, who was friends with Taylor Holder, who was also consistently releasing music, so it kind of made sense that she'd also release music. And she actually released later than most people in 2022 with the single Boys, which was closely followed by Bet. And then there was just nothing after that. I think it's because she became a mom, but I don't think she'll ever release again. Then we have Landon Barker, who's more known for being a Nepo baby than a TikToker, but I put him in this list anyways. He's best known as Charlie's ex and Huddy's replacement, and the whole drama that went down with that whole thing. It was a wild time. His first single was in 2023, Friends with Your Ex. It kind of made sense that he was going to go into music given that his dad is Travis Barker. And then he released another song in 2024, then didn't release again until late June of this month, so 2 years later. So, again, might not be a discontinued music career, but definitely more uncertain than people who are releasing regularly. Then we have Charlie D'Amelio, who is the entire reason that I made this video or came up with this idea, because her releasing music was not expected and it was filled with so much drama. She only ever released one song in 2022 called If You Ask Me To. It got a remix, and that is all the music she has out there. And it's really sad because she got so much heat for releasing a song just for that career to never go anywhere. There were people saying she was trying all these different things, and so she was just a money grabber. And then she was competing with Dixie because Dixie had a famous music career, and the song was bad, and it was a driver's license ripoff, and there was just so much hate piled onto this poor girl. And I don't know if that's why she hasn't released anything, or if she was kind of pushed into releasing for the sake of drama for her reality TV show, and so she just never pursued because of that, because it wasn't something she was interested in. But there's just so much drama, and it just never amounted to anything, and I think that's a bit sad. Last on this list, we have Dixie. She started her music career in 2020 with Be Happy, which was not well received, then featured on a holiday song with Liam Payne, and released 2 more original songs in 2020, 3 songs in 2021, and then an entire album in 2022. So there's definitely a lot of potential for her music career because people were definitely starting to warm up to her music by this point. She featured on a song later in 2022, and then featured on 2 songs in 2023, but had no original music. And there hasn't been any talk of music since. As far as I know, she hasn't released anything since, and it doesn't seem like she ever will. And that's kind of like what's sad about Dixie and Peyton is they had the potential. Like they were releasing and it was going well, and then nothing. And it's like, where did you go? What happened? But that's just me. So those are the discontinued music careers of TikTok stars. Who would you want to come back to music? Who were you a fan of? Who weren't you a fan of? What did you have to say about these people releasing music and the music they released? Anything you want in the comments, really. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.